Hello, this is another video in our series on finding encouragement. We know that in the midst of a difficult time, there are many places that we turn to where we find hope and beauty and joy at work in the world around us. I believe that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And so wherever I find the way around me, wherever I encounter truth, wherever I encounter life in all its fullest, I know that what I find has its roots in the source of all things, in the living God, who I know as Jesus Christ. One of the ways that I've often found comfort in my life is in one of my favorite authors. Her name is Madeleine L'Engle, and she was an Anglican, a member of the Episcopal Church in the United States, and she wrote prolifically, including a lot of children's literature, fantasy stories and science fiction stories and the like that I've always loved. And there are 5 books of her in a series, sometimes called the Time Quintet, that I'm going to share just a little bit about as a way that I have found encouragement in my life. The first is probably the most famous, A Wrinkle in Time. And A Wrinkle in Time is the first in the series and was made recently into a movie by Disney that's worth a watch. In it, it tells the story of a girl named Meg and her little brother named Charles Wallace. And they go on adventure throughout the universe in search of their father who has gone missing. I'm going to read a passage. They've encountered a being they've given the affectionate name Ant Beast, a kind of alien. And they're talking with this alien about the struggle. It's a cosmic and timeless struggle between good and evil. "Are you fighting the black thing?" Meg asked. "Oh yes," Ant Beast replied. "In doing that, we can never relax. We are called according to his purpose, and whom he calls, them he also justifies. Of course we have help, and without help it would be much more difficult." "Who helps you?" Meg asked. "Oh dear, it is so difficult to explain things to you, small one, and I know now that it is not just because you are a child. The other two are as hard to reach into as you are. What can I tell you that will mean anything to you? Good helps us. The stars help us. Perhaps what you call light helps us. Love helps us. And may we know that in this time, as we continue to struggle for justice, for wholeness and healing, as we continue to hold on to hope in this difficult time, that good helps us and the stars help us, that light helps us and love helps us, and may we help one another. The second in the series is a book, A Wind in the Door, which continues the story talking about Charles Wallace, the little boy. And at the end of the story, there's a conflict. And in the climax, there's this beautiful poem, and I'm going to read just a bit from. Be butterfly and behemoth, be galaxy and grasshopper, star and sparrow, you matter, you are. Be caterpillar and comet, be porcupine and planet, sea sand and solar system, sing with us, dance with us, rejoice with us for the glory of creation, seagulls and seraphim, angel worms and angel host, chrysanthemum and cherubim, O cherubim, be. Sing for the glory of the living and the loving, the flaming of creation, sing with us, dance with us, be with us. One of the themes of Madeleine L'Engle's work is that all parts of the creation are good and all parts are interrelated. So may we know in this time of crisis that we need one another, that we've been created to live together and support one another in community. The third is, and this series is my absolute favorite, A Swiftly Tilting Planet. It tells the story of Charles Wallace as a teenager, and he goes on an adventure through time, trying to right a wrong as the world is at the edge of catastrophe. And in our own time of crisis, it has important lessons for us to remember of how we need one another, how we need to work together, how we need to set aside conflict and violence. And it has a a retelling in a way of the creation story repeated throughout the scriptures that L'Engle knew well. And then I'll read a passage from here. And this is told from the perspective of Meg, watching her little brother on his adventure. Nothing was, she was not. There was no dark, there was no light, no sight, nor sound, nor touch, nor smell, nor taste, no sleeping, nor waking, no dreaming, no snowing, nothing. And then a surge of joy, all senses alive and awake and filled with joy. Darkness was, and darkness was good, as was light. Light and darkness dancing together, born of each other, neither preceding, neither following, both fully being in joyful rhythm. The morning stars sang together, and the ancient harmonies were new, and it was good. It was very good. There is joy that we can find. The joy is the purpose in all of creation, that all of creation has been made good. And when we fulfill the purpose for which God has created us, we participate in that joy which sustains all creation. The fourth book in the series is titled Many Waters, from Song of Songs, a beautiful line, "Many waters cannot quench love, nor can the floods drown it." And Many Waters tells the story of two of Meg and Charles's brothers, Sandy and Dennis, who find themselves sent back in time into the time of Noah, just before the flood. And they again go on an adventure. And at the end, a group of angels are discussing how Sandy and Dennis found their way out of time back into the time of Noah. "Are they part of the pattern?" Admael asked. "Is it right and proper for them to be here?" Alarid looked up at the veiled sky. "Perhaps Ariel will have word when he returns from taking Yalith to the presence. But I think, yes, that they are part of the pattern." "The pattern is not set," Adnaral said. "It is fluid and constantly changing. But it will be worked out in beauty in the end." And I love that image that there is a pattern, a purpose, an order to creation that God has placed into the universe. But that pattern itself is fluid, is changing and evolving, and that it does not always go in the ways we expect, but that the good and loving Creator will bring the creation to its fulfillment, and all will be worked out in beauty in the end. And I know that might seem strange and hard to grasp in this time. And I believe that God doesn't want us to suffer as so many are in this crisis. But I believe that all will be worked out in beauty in the end. That God is at work even now, seeking wholeness and healing and justice and inviting us to join God in that great work. The last book in the series is called An Acceptable Time. The title comes from the Psalms. And in it, the next generation after Meg and Charles and Sandy and Dennis, a girl named Polly is sent back in time again. And she's having a conversation with a friend who is a bishop. And he says, "My dear, I'm seldom sure of anything. Life at best is a precarious business. And we aren't told that difficult or painful things won't happen, just that it matters. It matters not just to us, but to the entire universe." And so this, I think, is the kind of encouragement we need right now. Not that everything is going to be okay, not that difficult, painful times don't happen, because we're in them in different ways right now. Pain, precariousness, difficulty, trouble, challenge, these things are indeed part of life. And we're not told that they don't exist. We're not told that they're going to always go away, but we are told that when we struggle, it matters to us, to one another, to the whole universe, and I would add, to God. That everything that happens to us matters. It matters so much that God joined our story as a human being in Jesus Christ. And the stories of Scripture are throughout these 5 books written by Madeleine L'Engle herself, a deeply devout Christian woman of the Anglican tradition. And these books have been such comfort and encouragement to me throughout my life, and I hope that they can be for you too. Grace and peace be with you.